Hello and welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio. I'm April Perry, and today I'm sharing 7 ways to generate the courage to change. Now, if you clicked on this episode and you're actually listening, then I'm guessing you already kind of have the courage to change, or maybe you're in the middle of changing, or maybe you're right on the verge and you just need a little bit of support. So that's why I'm here to encourage you as you take steps towards creating the life that you really want. Creating a life that feels calm and peaceful and happy with great relationships, feeling solid, feeling like, okay, I wake up excited, I go to bed content, I'm doing good in the world, I'm happy. That's what I want for all of us. So anyway, thanks for being here with us. So I found this quote the other day by E.E. Cummings that says, "It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are." Now, this quote elicits quite a few emotions for me, and I'm just going to share 3 of them here. So first is excitement, because I love the idea of growing and becoming. It feels thrilling to think about reaching my full potential, and you probably feel that way too. You think, ooh, there's awesome things in the future for me. This quote also elicits fear because, I wonder, do I have the courage and capacity inside me? Or sometimes I wonder if perhaps who I really am isn't as great as I thought it would be. So, we don't want to feel kind of down about ourselves. And then third is curiosity, because I feel these whisperings in my heart leading me towards a future I can't totally see. Do you guys feel that? But my faith and hope keep telling me to keep moving, keep trying, and keep acting on those thoughts and ideas that come into my heart. Now, you may feel something totally different when you read that quote or hear that quote. And if you want to share in the comments, you can come to LearnDoBecome.com/episode 158. And when you type in a comment, I actually do read those, and it means a lot. So I'd love for you to share anything that you think about either that quote or what I'm going to share in the future in this podcast. But for today, I'm just going to focus on that courage that's required for any change that we make. Now, in theory, it seems like change should be a no-brainer. If we don't love our current reality, then why would we not change it? But we all know it's not that easy. Perhaps there are fears we need to face, or people we feel we need to protect, beliefs that seem so real that we need to edit them out of our lives, or worry that our efforts will waste energy without producing results, or a genuine sense of comfort that we can't imagine losing. So for help on this, developing courage, I went to our STEP Mastery community. Now, STEP stands for Steps to Everyday Productivity. That's our signature program about getting organized and building a command central. So I went to the Mastery community and I asked this question. For those of you steppers who are currently in the middle of change, meaning you've made some progress and you're seeing growth, what finally gave you the courage to do so? Now, their responses were so good, and I'm just going to include a few here. And these are talking specifically about our STEP program, and this isn't meant to be a big commercial about STEP, though I do think everyone needs a command central on their desk, and I will shout it from the rooftops. But I hope that these ideas will empower you today as you're contemplating the changes that you want to make in any area of your life. All right, so 7 things for today. Number 1, believe in our value. I have a quote here from Natalie. She said, "I had such a desire to be a better person for my family, my church, to be a good example. I found LearnDoBecome through a Facebook ad and eventually signed up for their free Stop Drowning in Piles course. And you can find that. There's a link on the page, or LearnDoBecome.com/step. At the end, when you're talking about signing up for the full program, I was so undecided until either you or Eric said that you are worth investing in. I was on the verge of tears because I wanted so badly to really believe that I was worth investing in. Not just to make myself better for others, but to make myself better for me, that I had value. In that moment, I realized I could see value in myself and change simply because I was worth it. I haven't regretted signing up for Mastery for a single second. I and so many others have been blessed because I chose to believe the truth. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to make this a sales pitch, but I hope that you can see how this belief in ourselves really matters as we make a decision. Every decision that I've made in my life to invest in myself, whether it's time taking a class or reading a book or money spent paying for a course or a coach or an opportunity, all of that had to stem from a belief that I had value and that I was worth investing in. So if you are ever doubting that, doesn't mean you have to go spend a lot of money on something, but taking some time, some energy on you, super important. All right, number 2, decide to end the desperation. Joe shared, in response to my question, no courage, more like desperation. Things can't stay the way they are. Now, the details might look different for you, but feelings of desperation are incredibly common. Joe actually shared a little bit more that she'd gotten really ill and nearly died earlier this year. And she added that she needed to be pragmatic. And as she looked around all the stuff in her life, she realized there was no way she would need all of it in the time that she had left. So she decided to take action. And, ideally, we'll all make needed changes in our lives before we get to the point of desperation. But if any part of you right now is saying things can't stay this way, then I hope that you'll take courage and do something about it as soon as possible. And that includes our environment. That includes how we're using our finances. It includes relationships. If you're thinking things can't stay this way, then don't let it. Because so often people say that and then they just stay in it. All right, number 3, be kind to ourselves. This is from Renee. When I learned to stop judging myself and instead chose to be graceful with myself regarding my stops and starts and slow progress, that's when I finally started to create change in both how I think and achieving more freedom and peace of mind from my results implementing the program. I finally accepted that ruminating about how long it's taking me was getting in my own way. So instead, I focused on doing whatever I can, little by little. This year has been really the year that I've been able to implement the program better, more consistently and effectively. It's still not complete, it's not perfect, but it still is bringing much more freedom and peace of mind to us. And I loved how she was just gentle and kind. She used the word graceful and saying, hey, what can you do little by little? It's these little 10-minute steps, 5 minutes at a time, one decision at a time. Life isn't smooth and easy. And even just this morning, Eric and I have like this big long text and an email we need to kind of work through and talk through. We just spent the last hour talking about all this stuff. That was not on the plan for today, but that's okay. It's that little by little, but being kind to ourselves. All right, number 4, commit to a balanced life. This is from Nick. She says, when I first discovered STEP, it was a short webinar and the light bulb of some goals, tasks for me, some goals and tasks for family, and some goals and tasks for work, and an even split being the big thing. It just had me realize I did not do anything for myself at all. And then she went on to share some of her projects and goals that will nurture her in each area of her life. And then she added this. It might not sound like much, but to me, it is massive to intentionally create and have a structure for a balanced life. I know it will help my emotional and mental health, as well as the obvious clarity and calm it will bring to work. So just this concept of balance, we hear a lot, oh, balance is a myth. You can't ever be balanced. If you're going to be awesome at something, you need to put your whole heart into it. And certainly there are times in our lives where we don't feel like we're in perfect balance. Like if you have a dear loved one in a hospital, or you're going through some illness, or there's a big thing at work or whatever. Sure, there are times where we're a little bit out of balance, but generally I will say that my life is incredibly balanced. I do take care of myself. I do spend a lot of time with our family, and I do work consistently that I think matters and that I hope will make a difference in the world. And sure, you might say, well, April, you're not like a standout, like what I want to be. Okay, that's all right. My goals and your goals don't have to be the exact same, but I love having a balanced life. I like having time every day to spend with Eric and to spend with our children. And I like being able to talk to neighbors and work and do things that feel good. And I like to exercise and eat well and get enough sleep. And I go to bed at a good time and I sleep 8 hours a day. Like I like that. So I think when you commit to a balanced life and recognizing you don't need to give everything to work, or you don't need to give everything to other people, and then you just run around in sweats, never taking a shower or whatever, So I love how Nick shared what it meant for her to intentionally create and have a structure for a balanced life. I think that is that commitment, that's huge. That's going to give you courage to change, because if you're out of balance, you're going to know it. We all know it. You're like, oh, was I out of balance? No, you know. All right, number 5, work in microbursts. This is from Catherine. She said, after she purchased our program, I didn't touch it for a couple months. Finally, I told myself that I could get it and read it for just 5 minutes. I made a pact with myself to do that, and I did. I came across the concepts of the pain point microburst around the same time, so then I told myself I could tackle a pain point for just a microburst each day. And we say microbursts are like, 10 to 15 minutes, something quick, next action, just jump in and do it. I got the entire first pain point resolved in the first microburst. Chunking things and asking myself what I could do instead of focusing on what I couldn't made a huge difference. So I love that concept of focus and then just working the microbursts. Number 6, focus on building a system. So James Clear is the author of Atomic Habits, awesome book, and he teaches, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So I have found this to be true in literally every area of my life. And I was incredibly touched by this next message from our community member. This is from Yesa. She said, for me, it was the 3rd time I broke down sobbing because I just could not stay on top of the many responsibilities of my job. I was overwhelmed and exhausted all the time. My family time was suffering and my mental health was beginning to suffer too. After listening to Command Central in an hour, that's at the very beginning of our STEP program, I knew this would help me regain control at work. Soon after, I created a digital Command Central at work and began implementing the other principles. Work is still insanely busy, but I'm at peace because I have my very own trusted system that allows my brain to relax. I'm like singing hallelujah. I'm so excited. Okay. I can now leave work at work, knowing that I will know exactly where to pick it up the next workday. I'm so grateful for the freedom and peace I've gained through this program. Okay, seriously, this brings me to tears. I'm so excited. Okay, I'll keep going. Number 7 though. Increase your power through accountability. So this is shared by Rebecca. She goes, gosh, I believe that desperation and a desire for better motivate me the most to get started each time. I see something that I know annoys me, and I finally resolve to fix it. And little steps are important to take each day. I pick a project for weekends when I have time, like tackling a whole closet. And then she said, for me, this group is about finding accountability and feeling powerful enough to make the changes I want to see instead of staying stuck in decades of bad habits. Oh my gosh, awesome wisdom from Rebecca. So thank you. So I hope that these ideas that I shared today are giving you, just maybe a little inspiration or a little encouragement or a little lift. And perhaps something is whispering to you saying, hey, it's time to change this part of your life. Or here's this one thing that you could do, And I hope that you're excited about that. Now, if it's the organization, mental clutter, feeling overwhelmed, and that's your area, I hope that you will come join us in our STEP program and or 4 weeks to finished. I am recording this. This is right before our 4 weeks to finish is starting. We're launching September 1st, 2022. And join before that because our first class is Thursday, September 1st, 10 a.m. Pacific. So if you're listening to this right when it comes out, I hope that you'll come in and join 4 weeks to finish. You can learn more at LearnDoBecome.com/4 weeks. The number 4, WEEKS. We'll also link to it on the show notes page. But this is where you can work with our community. You can have the accountability. You're going to have the coaching. You're investing in yourself. Yes, it's an investment, but we also have an awesome money back guarantee. We don't want you to feel scared. Like we're taking the pressure. We're taking the responsibility on our shoulders to work with you and help you. You've got to do the work, but we're going to help you make it happen. But whether you're part of 4 weeks to finished or our Step Mastery program or Arise or doing something else with us here at Learn to Become, we hope that you're feeling encouraged as you grow and change and progress. It is exciting to take that courage, to grow up, to become who we really are. And as we do it in a community, it just feels happy and empowering and fun, like we're not alone. And we all need that, right? Okay, Sending so much love. Have an amazing day. See you soon at LearnDoBecome.com.